Ah.
Is it literally in the books, though? Like, when you say, like, an episode is in the books, are we actually going to put it in a book? Is that how we're going to do it?
Maybe.
We could.
We
could make, like, the official On a Couch...
It's a book?
Yeah.
Tales from the Couch. Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of On a Couch Talking Sports. As always, I'm Robbie. This is Kyle. Kyle, another happy hump day to you. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good, actually. How about you?
Doing well. You know, another sort of through the midway point of another week, so which is always good. So if you watched last week's episode, we gave you a little bit of a teaser for what was to come this week, and that is that Kyle and I, once again this winter season, had the opportunity to go to a college hockey game on Friday night. That's right. For the first time, we switched it up. It was not our first time seeing this team this season. It was our first time seeing them at their home venue. We were over at BC, Boston College, taking in their game against Northeastern on Friday night, and boy, what a game it was. BC exploding offensively a 10-1 victory against the Huskies. Kyle, I mean, let's just jump right into it. I mean, what were your thoughts about that game? I mean, 10 goals, you never see that like a college hockey.
I don't think even professional hockey.
Yeah, let alone BC Northeastern. I mean, that was just crazy.
That was insane. That was a blowout. You know, I was telling Robbie as the game was going on, hey, you ever see that John Travolta movie Blowout? I mean, the movie has nothing to do with the game, but the title has everything to do with what's going on. So, anyways, that was insane. That was a great game to watch. A lot of fun. Loved the atmosphere. The crowd on both sides were pretty enthusiastic. So, yeah.
That is crazy. It's been...
My God.
It was amazing. It was so much fun, and it's kind of funny because, we always talk about the crowd at these games. We actually had the opportunity to be, whether we liked it or not, be a couple rows in front of the little Northeastern student section that made the trip over to BC for the games. So just talking about that because they were interesting to listen to. Yeah,
they definitely they were definitely they weren't okay. They weren't. I wouldn't compare them to like the BCBU, like when they kind of. I feel like that like back and forth. They just kind of kept shouting. Like they had all these like crazy chants to each other and everything. But in this case, yeah, they were definitely. Oh my God! They were like aggressive in their own way. I guess you could say so.
Well, it's interesting because before
not aggressive, but
because before Kyle even got there during the starting lineups introduction, one of the BC players was introduced, and the Northeastern students started chanting "racist," which is kind of awkward. And actually, somebody sitting next to us actually went down and talked to security, who came up and talked to them. So they were a little bit tamer from then on, but still, I mean, they were a pretty wild crew to listen to, and we, definitely, I don't know, for some reason it was weird, because we always seem to end up, especially when we go to BC games, we always seem to end up sitting right in front of the opposing student section.
That's a pattern.
When we went to the BU game last year, we sat in front of the BU students.
Yep.
And then this year, sitting in front of the Northeastern students. So it's just, you're right. It's kind of a pattern that we've got ourselves into. But just talking about the crowd overall, I mean, it was a pretty packed house, for a Friday night game. It was pretty exciting.
Yeah, I feel like the BC kind of student life is really. I feel like they're really energized when they see the hockey games, because especially now that football season's over, and you really only got kind of two major sports that are going on right now. I mean, I don't want to just. Do they have a track? They have a track team, right? BC?
Probably.
No, wait, of course. What am I saying?
Yeah,
of course they have a track team. Look at that.
Yeah.
I went there actually. I should know that.
That's right. You can say hockey and basketball.
Hockey and basketball. Okay.
Here, there's two major sports going on: hockey and basketball.
And of course, if you're a really diehard track fan, whatever. But yeah. So I feel like hockey is definitely one of the more popular sports during the winter. So with that kind of going on, I feel like a lot of people they really like to attend those games, and it really has a great turnout. And in a second, I will talk about the food. I did want to talk about the food.
It's funny. I was going to ask you about that. But I think one of the other really nice things about the BC games is it's pretty easy to get to. I mean, at noon, right within both of our areas. But also the parking is free. I mean,
Yes, that's a really nice thing.
I think, because when you go to, like, games at the Garden, you have to pay an arm and a leg for parking. When you go to a game, even at Bentley, depending on where you where you choose to park. If you want to park close, at least, you have to pay for parking. But for BC, the lot is free, and it's just steps from the arena, so that's always pretty good. I mean, getting out of there can be kind of tricky, especially if you leave right after the game.
Oh yeah, right as soon as the game's over. Yeah, you don't want to get caught in that traffic jam, but it doesn't last for very long though. At least as we saw, you can even walk over. They have a White Mountain Creamy there, and you go there for about 10, 15 minutes, and most of the traffic will be pretty much gone out of the lot. So,
yeah. So, but it's a good segue there. I know you sampled I did too. I had some pizza, which was all right. I mean, it was pretty average food, pretty average arena pizza.
Did they get it from anywhere, or was it just I
forget exactly. They used to be Papagino's, but then they went away from Papagino's and went to this new place. I forget the name of it, but
okay.
But anyway, but what was your take on the BC arena food?
It was pretty good. So yeah, overall it was they had a selection there. You can get little so the main food they had there like Robbie said, there was pizza. There were also hot dogs. So the hot dog for me was actually the highlight because they have $2 hot dogs there.
That's right.
Which it's a complete steal when you compare it to other other places that sell those hot dogs, and it's the same hot dogs as Fenway. So basically, they're selling Fenway Franks there for $2. So yeah,
can't beat that.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So I actually paired it up with another meal I had. So I had chicken fingers and fries, and they were pretty good. Nothing to write home about, but it was kind of nice to have that option. So I kind of double dipped. I was like, okay, I'll have a hot dog because it's only $2, and I'll grab the chicken. And they had fried potato wedges, which were pretty good. The only thing though was I wasn't very impressed with the ranch sauce. I don't know what they did with the ranch sauce.
Yeah, I remember you didn't really like that. No,
I think they put a bunch of canola oil in the ranch sauce, and it just I don't know. I tried it. I gave it a good try, and it just didn't work for me. But anyways, it's just sauce. So, I mean, if you exclude the sauce, it was actually a pretty solid meal. So
there you go.
And they also actually one of the things that was kind of cool was that night they had I think they were testing out some new soda. So they had
that's right, yeah.
Yeah, they had two new flavors that I think they were just giving out for free. So that was kind of nice. I got a free drink out of it. So they had a bull. It was something like Canada Dry Bull Ginger Ale. I don't know what the bold means. I don't know. They spike it. I don't know what that means, but apparently it's bolder for all that's worth. Whatever that means. So, and they also had an interesting flavor of Dr. Pepper. So they had Dr. Pepper cream soda. So that was interesting. It was all right. It was just fun to try. So
yeah, that was really interesting.
Yeah, right.
To think of it. Yeah. And the last couple things I wanted to discuss was obviously, you can't not talk about the band.
Oh, yes.
The good old BC band. But also, it was a theme night, actually, at the game. A Friends theme night. So, your reaction to Friends night at the BC game.
Well, so that's a funny story. didn't realize it was that they were doing themes. So I remember looking at Robbie. I'm like, Robbie, there's a lot of clips of from the Friends TV show. I'm like, what's that all about? And that's when Robbie explained to me. He goes, well, it's actually you explained to me a little more about the theme. Friends theme night. I'm like, oh, I was confused. I was like, oh, I didn't know they had themes here. So I thought that was really cool. I think that was kind of a nice little fresh spin on doing a hockey game, and they even went as far as being like on the billboard. They said the one where BC faces Northeastern in hockey or something like that. So that was pretty cool.
They went all out with that for sure.
Oh yeah, they put and whenever someone got a goal or basically anything happened,
they even just put clips of the show during. Yeah. They literally had like a whole episode worth of clips throughout the game. So if you had never watched Friends before, you could say basically watch like a full episode during that game. And also, like I said, the band. What was your take on the BC band this time around?
No, I mean they're good. I'd say they were just as consistent as they were at the BU game that we watched. So yeah, I always love hearing them. So. It's always a nice treat. So I just love. That's one of the things I love about going to college games, whether it's hockey, football. I just like. I love it when they bust out the pep band. It's just so cool. You don't get that experience when you go to like professional sports games. So it's kind of a nice it really gives that kind of college that authentic college experience. So.
Yeah, no, it was a good time as always,
yeah.
And definitely we always enjoy going to college hockey games or just sporting events in general. I mean, I think we've really met a sporting event that we haven't enjoyed, except Kyle when we went to that Bruins-Canadiens game. But other than that, we've had
or that hockey game where it skimmed me in the
when you got him out with the puck
10 years ago or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, almost 12 years ago. Wow.
Actually, no, I wouldn't even count that much. That was still a fun game. It was just a random event that happened. It was just a big wrench in the event, so whatever.
But yeah. So now we're gonna move on.
Actually, I did want to mention something really quickly.
Yes.
I completely forgot. I did want to give a nice shout out to Robbie where. Going back to the fans I'm going to do this. Oh yeah, I'm doing this.
No.
Where. Or do you want me to...
Go.
All right, I'll do it. Go.
You basically brought it up.
I brought it up. You guys are going to keep asking.
Go for it, yeah.
So I did want to bring up a really funny exchange between Robbie and the Northeastern fans, where the Northeastern fans...
I don't think they heard. They didn't even hear me.
No, but
I said so quiet. I said quiet enough, but I don't think they heard me, which is the funniest part about this.
But it was funny because the immediate people around you heard you.
Yes, they did.
So basically, the Northeastern kids were shouting. I forget what I think they were shouting. Oh, 7 goals, that's more touchdowns than the football team. And then Robbie just looks over, he goes, well, at least we have a football team.
Yeah.
We're relaying to BC. I'm like, oh, and then everyone around us was just like, oh, no, oh. That was
true.
Great.
I was stating facts. I was stating facts. Northeastern does not have a football team. They did at one point, but now they don't. So that was a factual statement.
That was well said. I could not have rebutted better than that. So, props to Robbie.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And now I'm going to have hate now for the Northeastern fans.
Yeah, they'll get over it.
Yeah.
That's why you guys
still
don't mess.
have football. You still don't have football. And you lost 10-1.
And that's why you don't just shout random things from the audience.
Yeah. Don't shout if you can't back it up.
There you go.
So we're going to move on to sort of the end portion of our episode. Now, by the way, congrats to BC again for that humongous victory. I mean, in both terms of importance of the game and also the fact that you won 10-1. So we're going to start off, as always, with the Robbie final thought. And my final thought is a short one tonight, but
right.
Speaking of hockey, so it's kind of a perfect segue, the high school hockey tournament is started up this week, and I just want to give a shout out to both the Wellesley High girls and boys hockey teams, who both are in the tournament once again this year. The boys will be playing their first round game tomorrow. They're going to be playing Marshfield down at Gallo Arena in Bourne. Arena I've been to. It's a very, very nice arena. So they'll be playing tomorrow night against Marshfield, so best of luck to them. And then the girls team, the two-time defending state champion, Wellesley High girls team, will be beginning their quest for a third straight state title as they'll face Medfield on Saturday at noon at Canton Ice House in Canton, Massachusetts. So very excited for them, both those teams. Wishing them luck and hoping they have nice deep tournament runs that maybe will even result in another trip to the TD Garden, especially since I've had the pleasure of announcing games there the last 6 years in a row. Gotta keep the streak going, man. Gotta keep the streak going. But anyway, so like I said, just wanted to wish them best of luck and go get them, Raiders. So now, let me turn it over to the man, the myth, the legend. The Sue's Reviews is back.
Oh yeah,
have at it, my man.
All right, so I wanted to start by talking about a movie that has been really the talk of the town. I feel like this past year, mainly actually last year and this year, because it did come out officially last year, but it struck gold at the Oscars. And I'm sure you guys know what movie I'm about to talk about, Parasite. I finally got the chance to see it. I saw it on Amazon. You can rent it now, or you might even be able to actually still see it in theaters, depending on which theater you go to. But yeah, it was a very impressive movie. So, Parasite is a Korean film directed by Bong Joon-ho. I think I got his name right. I hope. And it's about this poor family that they're kind of down their luck, and they keep trying to find these jobs that just don't go very well for them. So what they do is one of them who has a friend or one of their friends, one of the kid's friend actually hooks him up with a rich family that he can work for. So as a tutor to their daughter. So this kid, he's a teenager. He's probably 18. He starts working for the rich family, and he realizes how impressive their house is compared to where he lives. And what happens is, I don't want to spoil too much. I feel like it's one of those movies where you kind of have to. It's better to kind of see it without knowing too much, because it's a very unconventional type of movie. It really doesn't go by the book. It's just very unexpected the way it unfolds, and that's what I really loved about it. It was a really it was just a movie that really focused on the differences between different classes, classes in society and everything. It was a very much poor, rich versus kind of poor movie, and I don't want to go too much more into the story after that, but it was just a very well-made movie. The directing was great. The acting was phenomenal. You probably don't know many of the actors because they are all Korean, and yes, the movie is completely. It's in subtitles, so if you guys don't mind watching a movie in subtitles, it doesn't bother me. I'm a big Japanese, Asian horror fan, actually generally Asian horror fan, so I've watched a lot of foreign movies in the past, so that doesn't bother me, but I feel like that's the best way to watch a movie anyways, if you're going to watch a foreign language film. But I highly recommend Parasite. It's obviously not something you want to bring your kids to, because it does have some kind of disturbing moments. I don't want to like I said, I don't want to give too much away. It's definitely a really very socially. It's just a great movie. It's just really. I was just very impressed by it. And this is coming from a director who, before, he's directed action movies. He's done a Korean. He's done like a monster movie called The Host. So he's tackled a lot of different kind of genres. But here he really kind of went for like this. It's got this kind of like tongue-in-cheek humor, but it also has some really dramatic moments and a lot of reveals that kind of like you see as the movie goes on. So it's a very well-made movie. I highly recommend just checking this one out. So yeah, Parasite. Bong Joon, who is the director, he had a great Oscar speech, by the way. So check that out as well. So yeah. There you go.
Nice. Yeah, definitely. I heard a lot about that sort of in the news and sort of coming out of the Oscars.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, definitely. If Kyle says to go see it, you should definitely consider going to see it. But yeah, so that wraps up this week's edition of On a Couch Talking Sports. Again, as always, thank you for tuning in. He's Kyle. I'm Robbie. This is a couch, and that's a picture. And we're going to sign off here for On a Couch Talking Sports. Until next time, thanks for watching. Bye, everybody.
Bye. I'm going to chug this.
Chug. Nice.